Now, Kenya has actively joined the race towards the search for a coronavirus cure. The Aga Khan University Hospital has started enrolling people with COVID-19 into a drug trial that has shown promising results in the United States. The drug, which is already in use for treatment in cancer and arthritis, may be yet another answer to the pandemic that continues to cost lives and livelihoods. Here's KTN's in-house medical correspondent, Dr. Mercy Korir.
The race towards a COVID-19 cure that began in May 2020 in the U.S. has found its way to Kenya and South Africa in the African continent. Medics at the Aga Khan University Hospital, Nairobi, have enrolled 10 patients into a drug trial that is expected to work on the body's immune system to prevent the pneumonia that has been characteristic of patients with COVID-19.
When COVID infects a patient, the first path of infection is the lung. So you have the lung full of viruses. Then the patient's immune system tries to kill the virus. What it does is it brings in all the cells of the immune system to kill this virus. Those cells produce a substance called IL-6, interleukin-6. If it overreacts and makes too much IL-6, then the lung gets crowded, and in the CAT scan you see total whiteout of the lung. We call it ARDS. That whiteout requires the patient then to be going on a ventilator.
Tocilizumab, marketed by Roche under the trade name Actemra, is a drug in trial. Its efficacy and safety in the treatment of COVID-19-associated pneumonia in hospitalized patients will be known by October this year.
So we think the culprit for ARDS is IL-6. So this study is giving anti-IL-6 to patients who have COVID pneumonia before they get into the ventilator.
The study will find out how many participants will require mechanical ventilation by the 28th day, in addition to the time taken to clinical failure, which is either the time to the mechanical ventilation, ICU admission, death or withdrawal, whichever comes first.
You have to be a patient who on chest X-ray or a CAT scan has COVID pneumonia, is requiring oxygen, is slightly getting worse, where his oxygen requirement is getting worse now.
60 patients have been targeted in Africa out of the 375 globally in the US, Brazil, Mexico and Peru, since what works in the West may not necessarily work in Africa. Professor Mansour and team do not expect long-term side effects other than its already known ones like a drop in blood pressure and shortness of breath while being administered, and in a few weeks' time, it may cause immunosuppression.
The side effects of COVID could be near death, ventilation, intubation. Compared to that, these are really minuscule side effects.
2 out of every 3 patients in the trial will receive the drug, while the third will get a placebo. If this drug works as intended, the medics hope that it will be available on compassionate protocol so that as many people as possible can benefit. Dr. Mercy Korir, KTN News in Nairobi.